Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, my friends, I've got a real treat for you. Shawn Porter's back. What's up, sir?
What's up, man?
You got to call him sir, otherwise you might get your head smacked.
Oh, not me.
If you guys know who he is, then you know who he is. If you don't, dude, Shawn Porter's like, I would say, in my mind, when I hear boxing, it's like I don't get the WBC, the IBF, and all the different leagues, but you're a champ.
Yes, sir.
You go around and you smack some fools and you get them to wake up.
To do it.
And not only that, but like you're known to go in there and attack.
Yeah.
Like you're not a boring fighter.
No, not at all. My dad has heard me say this before. I don't condone booze. I'm someone who I'm a naturally excitable kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that's got the kind of energy that when you're around me, you feel good, you feel great. And so you put that with the fact that I get to get in the ring and do things that God has given me the ability to be a tremendous athlete, and that energy, and it just when it comes out in a way that people just really enjoy it. And it was like I was telling the gentleman over here, it's when you watch me, it's like you're watching more than just two guys fighting, two guys duke it out and hurt each other. You see a lot of the sweet science is what they call boxing. You see a lot of the art, and you see a lot of the strategy that goes into conquering someone else and basically making them everything that they've done great to that point, basically nothing.
And your fight's coming up on Fox pay-per-view when?
Yeah, it's next weekend. Yeah, September 28th is the day.
September 28th.
Yeah,
I'm going to make sure to tune in, and I'm going to drop this immediately when we're done. So
the welterweight division does not have a unified champion. Basically, what a unified champion is a champion who has more than one belt. Like you just said, you don't know what the belts are. You'll recognize a champion when he's got a belt. You may not know what that belt is. You just know he's got a belt, so you know he's a champion. So right now I have what is called the green belt, the WBC title. This is the title that even Floyd Mayweather had before he retired. And this belt goes as far back as Muhammad Ali. This is the first belt.
That's one you possess.
Yeah,
you're
this
the
is
champ
the one I
that.
got. Yeah, this is the one I got.
So if this dude beats you, which that ain't gonna happen. But if he does, he takes that belt.
Let's talk about what he's got, because we're gonna talk about what I'm taking.
Okay.
He's got the IBF title. That title's red,
okay,
and that's the International Boxing Federation. I have the WBC, the World Boxing Council, and right now, the welterweight division does not have a unified champion. That means right now there's 4 champions in the welterweight division. After next weekend, there's only gonna be 3. One of those champions will have 2 belts.
Right, and that's gonna be you.
Yes, sir.
Now, we're in Vegas, so I can make a wager on that.
Yeah, you can.
And I should.
I'm the underdog.
Are you really?
So you can make some money.
Dude, I guarantee I will. I guarantee I will now.
money.
Because, dude, number one, I love betting on the underdog because I'm an underdog.
Me too.
Number two, there's a lot of times, dude, the underdog wins.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, this gentleman to your right, my left, is your father.
Yeah.
Now, last time you were here, I said, damn, dude, that's good. Where'd you get that? And you kept giving him credit.
The last time I was here, it was just coming out. And I was like, coming here this time, I was like, I don't know if I could get that deep again, you know? But, and like you said, I kept giving the credit not to myself, but to the one who taught me. And right next to me, I got my dad here today. And I did everything I could to make sure he got here today because I felt like this was important. You got to see who Shawn Porter was last time. You got to hear who Showtime Shawn Porter was, but now you get to see where Showtime Shawn Porter comes from.
Yeah, so tell me, because again, I got kids, and sometimes I can't get them to do a damn thing. How did you know, and how did you raise him to get him to where like he's not only a kick-ass athlete, but like he's got it up here too. Like he's not a dumbass. He's not just someone that can fight. He's smart. He's freaking ethical. He's
more than an athlete.
Yeah, like dude, he's way more than an athlete. How'd you do that?
My immediate answer used to be I beat him, but obviously that's not happening anymore. So I made a deal with him when he was very young. I said, hey, listen, if you always tell me the truth, you know, there won't be any spankings or anything like that. And we made that deal when he was very young. And pretty much he always stayed to that. It's only by the grace of God that I'm here today, and God bless me. I didn't have a father, but I've always had a father, which was God. And so there was something innate within me, something that told me these are the things you're supposed to do to raise a son. And so I actually went to his mom and said, God told me a man's supposed to raise his son. And she said, well, if you think you could do better than me, take him. This not easy. It never was easy, but as close to the word easy can be, he made it that way. In every aspect, I've never received a phone call from a school saying he had a bad grade. I never received a phone call from a school saying he got in trouble. I've never received a phone call from a neighbor or anyone in the community. There's never been any situations, even to this day, that I've had to, go to respond to anything at all. Closest thing to that, one time he called me and told me that his car had stopped on him at a gas station.
Oh, man.
So, I went to go pick him up because the car had stopped on him at the gas station. But then when I got there were fire trucks and the car was in flames. That's a little bit more than the car breaking down.
Yeah.
No, it's just been it's been a beautiful thing to have a son who just wakes up every day and did what his parents wanted him to do and listened and went out there and was just productive. And so, the sports, football, the basketball, the boxing, all that stuff was extra. Like, the most that I can be proud of is the man that he's become.
Well, you can be proud of that. That's for damn sure. And then you give credit back to him. So obviously,
I'm a very humble person, and so when you look at me, I'm always telling you, hey, this or that person is what helped me get here, and in this case, more times than not, it's my dad, and then even my dad has put people in my life who were able to, help me grow, help me mature, teach me things that, he may not have known or even teach me in a different way, so the blessing with having my dad is, I look at him and now being 31, I have a son now since you last saw me.
Congrats.
And thank you. And recognizing that my dad basically learned on the job, and I've been fortunate enough to have all of these life lessons given to me from him, and I feel like I got a great head start for my son, and even though he's only 20 months now, I'm so ready to give him everything that my dad's given me.
Man, that's good. That's good stuff. You guys are damn near like. I'm surprised there's no movie about you yet.
Not yet.
Are they working on one?
Not yet. My dad is working on some things.
The book is in first chapter right now, but
right.
We still got some chapters to write. So
well, hopefully
that kind of slows me down a little bit. Like this Saturday night coming up. That's
right. I was gonna say let's hope this chapter right here. Now, what makes you? I know that when obviously you're thinking about it, you have to stay positive. Mm-hmm. But when you're walking into a fight like this, or someone's starting a business, or any kind of a challenge you got to fight, like again, I was just talking to someone. His daughter's got cancer. Like, dude, number one, there's a facility in town called Cocoon. You heard of it?
Okay, yes, sir.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, dude, like supposedly that shit cures cancer.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I'm thinking there's some divine intervention going on personally, because like I just met him. Next thing you know, then it's this person, so I'm gonna put them together. But anyway, whether it's a starting a business, going into a fight, how do you get the mindset you got?
You know what? I think that preparation is key.
Ooh, that's another one.
I think that go ahead.
Last time I forgot to drop bombs, because we call it dropping bombs because every time someone says something people should listen to, I hit the button. Then last time, dude, I wasn't hitting no buttons because we just kept talking.
No. Well, here, let me.
Preparation is key.
No, come on now. We've all heard that. And I think at some capacity, we all know that. We all know that whatever we do to get ready for what we have going on determines how well we'll do at whatever we have going on.
Yeah.
For us, it's a blessing because somehow, some way, the preparation for this camp has been the best preparation we've ever had through 30. This will be my 34th fight, and so we've leaned on the experiences that we've had through other camps. We lean on the knowledge that we have now, and we try to improve everything that we do. So whether that's you going into a big fight, with me, I'll talk about me having the preparation and understanding that I've done everything that was required, that was asked, that I could do to be ready for this opportunity. Why would I shy away from this opportunity? Why would I not take this opportunity head on for everything that it's worth, with the understanding that I've given everything that is required to get what it's worth?
Well, what if he did the same thing?
He did the exact same thing. I'm sure he did.
How do you know, though? Like, how do you know when you walk in, like, dude, I'm taking that belt? Now, again, I know what you want to think, and you have to think no matter what, but how do you get that way?
With this specific fight, this kid is just like me. His will and his determination, his grit, his fight, his hunger, all of that is exactly the same. So you say, hey, well, what separates you? My preparation, the extra things that I've done, the extra studying that I've done, the extra note taking that I've done, not only on you, but on myself, the improvements that I've made on myself to get ready for you. And now we take into account that there's 12 rounds for me to get this right. And now through those 12 rounds, I got to get each round right. And the more rounds I get right, the more you get wrong, the more you start to feel wrong, the more pressure starts to surround your team in the corner, the more pressure starts to surround you, penetrate your mind and your heart, and you start to doubt, or you start to wonder, you start to question. And things like boxing, when you start to doubt, wonder, question, just like war, the one that shoots last is the one that loses. And that's how I expect to be, Errol Spence.
See, and again, a lot of this applies to entrepreneurialism. You guys are out there starting a business. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when I started Lightspeed, I didn't even think there was a possibility of going out of business. Mm-hmm. And I thought within 90 days I was going to be a multimillionaire. I thought, man, this is a for sure deal.
Yeah.
8 years later, I was still like 3 months behind on car payments.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lesson to all boxers out there. Boxers think that they just turn pro, they get the nice car, they get the nice house, they get fame, they get fortune, they get put on TV, so on and so forth. I turned pro in 2008. My first big fight on TV wasn't until 2013. 2013, first world championship title. So it does take a lot of time. But with that time, like it takes patience. It takes you looking for the right opportunity and then seizing those moments, seizing those opportunities.
Yeah, well, again, recognizing the opportunity is hard enough.
Yeah.
But then putting in the work to prepare for them, that's a whole nother matter.
Yeah, I think that that's what that's what makes us human. And that's, I smile about it because the ones that are the humans that are considered to be quote unquote great or fantastic human beings, those are the ones who can recognize and see things not only within themselves but within the people around them and continue to become better. The people that are lazy or don't have the job that they want, things like that, those are the people that aren't willing to go out there and give everything that they got. And I think that's another thing that separates good from great.
Yeah, I've always wondered, like, because I guarantee it, especially in boxing, there's all the different fighters out there, and they're all wanting to be champ, and they're all putting in the dues, and they're all like thinking the same way. I would think. Mm-hmm. What makes the one stand out? What makes the one like end up champion? Where is it talent? Is it, man, this one hits a little harder? Is it they want it more? Yeah. Because again, like at any given time, someone can knock anyone out. Yeah. Especially like MMA, people are like, "Oh, dude kicked dude's ass." I'm thinking, at any given time, that could have went the other way. Yeah. Right or wrong?
Same with boxing.
Yeah, but like, dude, there's a million people that wanted to be champ, never made it.
Yeah.
What did they not do, or what did you do to change that? Other than what you're saying, because don't you think they had the same mindset, but when they got in the ring with you, they lost?
I think sports, especially competition, is a little different in that aspect than like starting a business or trying to manage a business. I think with sports, it all comes down to that athlete and what the athlete can do. Not only what the athlete can do, but what's surrounding that athlete. So I can speak on myself, and you've seen my dad's right here. He's been with me every step of the way. There aren't too many other guys out there that have had that. So I've had moments through even my professional career where I was like, man, this isn't going my way. What's the point? Yada, yada, yada. You got your dad right there that's pushing right there with you, that's struggling right there with you, and is continuing to keep you in a positive state of mind and with the understanding that, hey, here's our goal and we got to get there. I think when it comes to sports and athletes, not especially boxing, are you setting goals? And then if you're setting goals, are you trying to achieve those goals? If you're trying to achieve those goals, do you have someone behind you that's helping you get there? So for me, the separation 100% is my dad and the team, the guys around us. That's what separates us. And it's helped me not only become a champion in 2013 when there were other champions that all the way now, 6 years later, I'm still a champion. Those guys are no longer champions. Along the way, they didn't have what I have to help them continue with their success and be consistent at everything that they've done. And that's what I've been able to do.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just thinking in terms of, you said so many guys are called. There's many are called, but only a few are chosen in all sports. NFL only got a roster of maybe 50 guys, but, there's 100,000 kids come out of college ready to play ball, but there's only X amount of spots on that team, and most of those positions are already gone because those are your starters from the previous seasons. With boxing, it's even less. I actually know a mathematician at USC, and I was going to contact him to ask him to do some, logical mathematic equations on how many guys are actually competing right now in professional boxing, because there is a list of them, and how many guys out of those guys that are competing become champion, let's say, over the course of the last 10 years. I have no clue, but it's a very, very, very small amount. Coming from where we come from, and the things that we've went through to get to this point, we come through the amateur boxing system. So he was in the Junior Olympic program. He started off at 8 years of age, his first amateur fight. And we did that all the way up through everything that you could do, from the local club shows to the local tournament, to advancing now to the regional level, to advancing to the national level by the time he's 10 years of age, to getting to international competition by the time he's 14, to making national championships and becoming a Pan Am team member, and then an Olympian on the 2008 Beijing team. This is all the preparation that brings you to the point where you're ready for a championship fight like this. But along the way, there were so many other kids with us, so many kids that we saw who were talented, so many kids that were strong and fast and big and winning and being champion every year. But for whatever the reasons were, and a lot of it may have had to do with guidance and parenting, that type of thing, but for whatever the reason were, they didn't make it to this point where he's at. And I mean, thousands of kids would love to be in the position that he's in today.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it there.
I'm trying to figure out why.
A lot of things happen. Life happens. That's a big word, that's vast. But the streets, the friends, guys start meeting girls, drugs, alcohol. So
distractions.
Total distractions.
And probably no one to like say, hey, pay attention.
Yeah.
So distractions, and then the mindset.
Yes, all of that. All of those things. I can remember one time I was getting ready to take him to an airport, and he was going to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. Really bad storm in Ohio, snowstorm, ice everywhere, cars sliding all off the road. We didn't get out of our driveway for 15, 20 minutes because of the ice. And once we got out, into like the main road, I was talking to him, and we were driving at like 5 miles an hour, and all of these cars were just going off the side of the road.
It was just
and
before we got on the highway.
Yeah, and we're looking at all. We hadn't got on the highway yet. We're looking at all these cars off the side of the road, cars spinning and everything, and we're driving at 5 miles an hour. And I'm talking to him, and I say, you know, this is like life. This is how your life has been. I said, you've been in this car with me, and I've been driving steady, just like this, at this steady, slow pace. And all of your friends and all of your family and all of the buddies and all the other boxers, they keep going off the side of the road because they're losing focus. They're driving too fast. They're not being careful in what they're doing. I said, I'm going to get you to this airport so you can get to this Olympic training center, so you can be this Olympian. I said, but along the way, we're going to see a lot of people that go off the side of the road, and guess what? We can't go help them. I got to stay this course with you. And I mean, we're driving 5 miles an hour, and even at 5 miles an hour, I'm seeing people just, you know, winding up in ditches. Their cars are spinning for no reason. Makes no sense how bad it was. You would thought people were driving at 100 miles an hour, and nobody's doing better than 10 or 15. But, you know, and all of these cars, and I even told him, you know, even your brother went off to the side of the road. I said, and you got cousins that are over in them ditches right now, and we can't go get nobody. We got to stay this course. And then finally, we get to the highway, which was only 2 or 3 miles, but it took us a half an hour, 45 minutes to get there. We finally get to the highway, and the speed picks up to maybe 20 miles an hour. And now we see even an ambulance in a ditch, a police car in the ditches, the fire trucks in the ditches. Everybody's sliding off the road. And I'm just talking to him about life and staying the course and being focused. And we got to that airport, and I put him on that plane, and I prayed that they wouldn't slide off the runway, getting to where they were going. But he made it through that again, and that was a situation that was so vivid to what we have been seeing for so many times in our lives. So many other guys that we saw who were bigger, stronger, faster, and better, predicted to do all of these things. His brother was predicted to make the Olympic team before him. But for whatever the reason were, you know, he didn't stay his course. And so Shawn has stayed this course, and even now, and, you know, let's talk in terms of money, you know, it's not that I want to talk about money, but it was never about becoming a professional athlete for me. I never had a conversation with him about being a professional boxer. I wanted him to go to college and play football and get a degree because I thought he was a great student. He would do really well in college, and he can play ball. So we can use that to get this degree. But he had a conversation with me and said, hey, I want to do this, and I can do it if I got you with me. And then we move forward to where we're at. And now you get to a point where you're starting to say, listen, let's plan the next phase of your career in your life. And he's transitioning now into television. But at the same time, he's a world champion. So we've been blessed, but he stayed the course. Because when I sent him to the college when he was 14 for telecommunication classes, he stayed the course. You know? So these things, just the preparation and the dedication and the focus, and not to let anything take your attention away, has brought him to this point and setting goals and accomplishing them.
Where do you get the, like in boxing at least, like the coaches? Where do you get the knowledge from? Who knows? Like, are they all over? Where's the knowledge coming from?
The funny thing about that is this, and this is from my experience, and next year, 2020, will make 30 years in boxing for me nonstop. Prior to that, I boxed when I was younger for, you know, the local police athletic league and things like that, and thought that stuff was so cool, but didn't really take it as serious as I should have, so I walked away and played football and other stuff and came back to it. But nonstop now for 30 years, never taking any time away from this. And the funny thing about that is this. Most of the coaches that I met along the way, most of the guys that were my mentors were guys that learned from older coaches. Well, most of the mentors that were mentoring me were older guys. So I thought about it one day. I'm like, okay, if my coach was 80 and he was mentoring me. And if his coach was still alive, his coach would be like 150. And if his coach was still alive, he'd be like 200 years old. This is some old information we getting here. I don't know if this information is relevant now as it was at one point in time. So me, myself, I chose to go get more education. So I started spending a lot of time at the Olympic Training Center and taking courses and classes and things like that to educate myself. And then it became a point where I actually became a clinician and would go back to my region and test coaches to get them their qualifications to coach. And now I'm going back and I am now giving tests to men who are 70 years old and they don't want to take my test.
Because they're worried.
Well, because they think they knew more than me, because they taught me.
Yeah.
But they didn't step outside of that box or outside of that city and go get more information and more education and then start applying that to their craft, which is what I did. So the coaches have not necessarily been guys that have, they may have been boxers that, they boxed, but they've not necessarily been guys that were educated to the point where they could take guys to higher levels. And me, myself, I continue to try to get adult education so that I could help him. Because when he got to a certain level, they wouldn't let me walk into a door unless I had the qualifications. And then I made sure when I jumped on a plane by myself and went to North Africa, when I walked up, they couldn't stop me. They had to give me that, red, white, and blue jacket and let me work in that corner while he was fighting, that kid for that championship for Cuba. So,
well, sounds like there was some humility there, though, because like most people think, I already know, like those 80-year-old dudes,
yeah,
they're not open to new information.
Ooh, no. They didn't want to take my test.
No, there's definitely got to be some humility coming from not just the fighter listening to the coach. We're the ones that get in there and do it. I could easily tell my dad, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing." But I have to be humble, show humility. I can't say that, but you know what I mean. And understand that he's gonna give me what I need to be successful. So then, when you talk about a coach learning from other coaches or taking these tests and things like that, there has to be some humility for you to understand that this coach may know one technique that I don't know. But that one technique may help me with what I have to do in order to help my fighters be successful. So my dad, for instance, he's had numerous mentors over the years. We spent time with Manny Pacquiao and Freddie Roach out in California and LA, and also in the Philippines. And my dad would listen to what Freddie would tell him how to coach a world championship fighter. He would watch Manny and how Manny would spar with me. I would get information from Freddie, take it back to my dad. Hey, look, this is what Freddie showed me. This is what Freddie taught me, and we use those things now. In order for you to get better, you have to listen to someone else. Everything's not in the book. You know that, Brad. Everything is not in the book. In order to get ahead, you have to listen to other people. And so that is definitely a way that my dad has come to be the coach that he is. We even have a coach in our corner right now, Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter has trained numerous world champions. Barry works behind my dad because he knows that that's what works for our team. He knows that he's going to be productive for our team, but in order for him to be productive for the team, he has to listen to my dad, give my dad information, and work together. He can't come in here and say, "Hey man, I train X amount of more world champions than you. This is what we're gonna do." It would never work. So even within my team, there's a lot of humility going around. There's a lot of understanding and a lot of love going around, and that's how we make it work.
Well, I can tell you right now, I have about 100,000 more questions for you both, but I know you have an interview to do.
I'll be back sooner than later, man. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back here.
No, I'm gonna bring you back again.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to talk parenting skills.
You got to, man. You got to talk to this guy.
Dude, well, my boys are already old, but I got 2 little girls now, and I definitely need to make sure I need to parent them right.
Yeah.
Because I had a little humility. First 2, I was in high school. Like people always say, because I got 6 kids from 4 women. Everyone says, "Damn." I'm like, dude, I can explain. Because I can't. Like I had 2 in high school. Well, I didn't get to raise them properly because of the I'm 16, 17, parents. I'm not even a grown man.
Yeah.
Then I got married, my 2 boys. I couldn't get them to do shit. My son was a damn good quarterback, but I couldn't get him to keep doing it because they benched him for a minute because this other kid was better. So he threw a fit and quit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I threatened him. I did everything to say, no, you're going to continue.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get him to do it. So I gave up. So that was my fault. And now I got 2 little girls. So I want to get him back.
2 little ladies, huh?
2 little ladies. And I got to make sure I raise them real right.
How old are they?
4 and 6 right
Yeah.
now. Because again, dude, number 1, they're gorgeous. And number 2, you got to make sure you raise your kids right.
Piece of advice for you, and especially because they are girls, so they're just going to be different. They're not going to be like the young men that you've raised. Just let them know that you're there for them. I think the more they trust you, the more they'll be willing to listen to you and be more understanding of the things that you try to show them. If they don't feel that they can trust you, they don't feel that they don't have the love or the respect, or you're not there for them the way they want you to be there for them, then it'll never be there for you. So I know they're only 4 and 6, but let them know right now that you're there for them and they can trust you with their lives.
I don't think he's speaking to you from a father's perspective. I think he was just speaking to you from
100%.
a son's perspective.
100%.
Of what they want
I'm trying to
from
save
us.
their life.
Of what they want from us, which is cool, right? Because
that is cool.
I don't get it that way, and so I heard it differently coming. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you want from me. I get it. Okay, I get it.
Well, and I can also say that, like, again, I tried that approach. It's just I wasn't convincing, or I didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, you can trust me, you can tell me anything, and then I screwed up when they tell me something, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
So it's
no, you can't.
Like you said, you told him, hey, as long as you don't lie, there ain't gonna be no ass kickings.
Yeah.
Well, you must have kept your word.
Pretty much, he helped me keep it though.
I know, but like, dude, like I say, hey, trust me, you tell me anything and you won't get in trouble. Then they tell me, hey, you did this. Oh shit! And then
I'm sure me giving you this, you'll start to figure it out. But trust goes beyond just I'm there for you, or you did this wrong. I'm not gonna scold you this time. It goes beyond that. You'll start to figure it out. The trust is just simply them knowing that you love them and that you're there. That alone will instill the trust in your children, and then just more and more is gonna come out of it.
Well, dude, you guys, it's funny listening to you because, again, when you see a fight, you just think freaking savage, beast. Doesn't even talk when he gets out the ring. He just freaking tears apart freaking food
and then go home.
Yeah, but then when you guys come in here, it's like, damn, dude, this dude's smart. That's what he said last time. It's like, dude, this guy ain't just a fighter.
Yeah.
So listen, folks, go do me a favor. Pay-per-view on Fox. How do they find it?
Fox pay-per-view. I've done all these different promotions for it. You can, if you got one of those remotes that you can speak into, just say my name, Showtime Shawn Porter. Say Errol Spence. Say fight on Fox pay-per-view. You'll be able to find it right there on your dials, man. This is another thing. Fights in theaters, man.
Is it really?
The fight is at AMC theaters.
So you just go to the movie?
I was at the barbershop earlier and we were looking into it. You can go to Town Square and check this fight out next weekend.
Town Square, folks. If you guys are in Vegas,
ain't that awesome?
That is awesome.
AMC theaters,
dude. All of them.
All of them.
So no matter what town,
we got a deal. We have a deal with AMC theaters. Yeah. Staples Center. That's where the fight's gonna be. So
L.A.,
home of the Lakers, home of the Clippers.
Folks, listen. If you can go to the fight live, obviously that's always a new experience. I kind of like watching the fight only because you get to see the close-ups and the replays, and in the ring. On the stadium, you don't always.
that, but we're gonna drag you to a fight one day. You coming in?
Hey,
you gonna get you up close with the blood.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll go. Dude, I've always wanted to walk out with them. Right, because you see them in the hallway.
Why does everybody want to walk out?
Because it's just cool.
Yeah,
man.
And then you go take your seat and let me do what I got to do. Like, you had all that fun walking in the ring. Why don't you go do it,
dude? I'll tell you. I almost want to, but then you got to think. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'll just sit down. Because, man, you got to put that condition in. One time after a fight, these dudes had the gloves up there. Me and my buddies, threw on the gloves.
You jumped in
because I've never really lost a fight because I'll avoid them until you make me. And by that time, dude, you don't want to fight me if you're making me fight.
Right.
And it isn't no pro fight.
Yeah.
It's a freaking brawl.
Uh-oh.
So I've never really lost, but I don't fight too much.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'll put the gloves on. Dude, within a couple of punches, dude, I was so out of breath where I couldn't even lift my arms.
We'll get you
and
in the gym.
if a conditioned fighter would have been opposing me,
Yeah. We'll get you in the gym.
dude, I would have been dead.
We'll get you shredded again.
Dead.
Yeah.
Where you train?
Right now I'm training at Barry's Boxing Gym. It's down by the strip. But we're still looking at some different properties, trying to open up another gym.
Now, how much do you weigh when you're in the ring fighting?
The weight class is 147 pounds.
147. Now,
Yeah.
if you go in there and you're overweight, what, fights off?
No, we'll make it happen.
How much
we don't
do
worry
you
about
weigh
the-
walking around?
Yeah. 160. Yeah.
What's
about that.
what's like Pacquiao and
Manny is a small guy. Manny probably walks around. He fights at 147 pounds. He probably walks around at 155 tops.
now he just fought, didn't he?
Yeah, he just fought in July.
Yeah, not for a belt though.
He fought in July. He's got the other belt.
So you might have to fight him too.
That's the plan.
What about Mayweather? What weight
Mayweather's
is
gone. I don't think Mayweather's gonna come back. I got the belt that Mayweather used to have.
he? Well,
So he's 147
So he was
pounds.
147,
Yeah.
and then this other dude, Errol.
Errol's
Spence.
147 pounds.
So
and
Errol
he's got-
Spence, you,
and Manny Pacquiao.
and who else?
There's one more guy. His name is Terrence Crawford.
So
Those are the four main belts. There's four big belts. WBC, Shawn Porter. IBF, Errol Spence. WBA is Manny Pacquiao. WBO is Terrence Crawford.
So if you could arrange it and you fought all three of those dudes and beat them all, would you have all four belts?
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
That's
Has that ever
possible.
been done?
Floyd did it.
Yeah.
Floyd did it?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I want to see happen. Folks, you guys are listening to Shawn Porter, champ in all the belts. Right now
Yeah.
he's got one. He's about to go get two,
got it.
September 28th on pay-per-view. If you guys ain't watching that, you crazy. Shawn, thanks for coming in.
Got it.
Kenneth, is it Kenneth or Ken?
Honestly, millionaires call me Kenneth, so go ahead.
Kenneth Porter, folks. Thanks you guys for coming in. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And come back when you kick that dude's ass and you got two belts. Just keep coming back till you got all four.
You know it.
Alpha.
Tell the truth.
You
All
got
right,
it.
guys. Thanks for coming in. Guys, go out and rent that. I keep saying rent that fight.
Buy the
Go
pay-per-view.
buy the pay-per-view. Watch this dude tear this dude up. You're the underdog. If you guys are in Vegas or you can get to a legal gambling outlet, go put some money on Shawn
It's
Porter.
nice. Plus 650.
Now you're talking. Dude, I'm gonna put that on.